One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1146, Motion in Stillness. We are opening this chapter with the continuation of the title page, where Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, volume 31, where it seems that she saved Page One and Old T and the rest of the people in Wano that have been kidnapped by Who's Who, along with Minatomo, the little carpenter that Frankie used to work for when he was undercover in Wano. And yeah, so I guess this chapter has Old T vowing to follow Yamato for the rest of her life. So yay, that's nice. I see potential crewmates for when Yamato inevitably goes out to sea. Very excited. We open this chapter where we left off. The Holy Knights have moved on and have made like personal moves themselves to speed things along as the Straw Hats and the Giants are fighting the nightmare incarnations that they've created. And in the last chapter, we've seen that the team of Nami, Jinbei, Brook, Usopp, and Colin had run into Gunko. And as they're sailing, this chapter opens up with all of them reacting to Gunko arriving on their ship, and being like, "Hey, Colin says, "Hey, it's one of the human intruders who the castle guards couldn't handle," and Gunko gets pissed at that. She's like, "You dare call me a human? We are gods." And Usopp immediately draws the parallel to Eneru. Eneru mention.
Oh, shit.
The Eneru truthers are eating good today. It's an Eneru mention. And also the Celestial Dragons. But yeah, Nami asks Gunko what she wants with the children of Elbaf. And, you know, we cut, at that point, we cut, over Gunko's narration of explaining what's going on, we see that Frankie is doing Frankie things, you know, one-shotting enemies, being low-key one of the strongest people on the crew. It's pretty sick. Love it for my guy, my goat, Frankie. He's defeated the big lightning cloud thing. But Gunko, as this is happening, explains that although they prefer a simpler method, the fact is that their size makes it a little difficult for them to kidnap, so they'll just have to walk, and they'll take them to the Holy Land via an appropriate route. So yeah, they're like, "Whoa, you're a celestial dragon?" And Brook is like, "I suspect something above that. The Holy Knights." So Brook knows about the Holy Knights. Probably because he's old, and the Holy Knights were probably a bigger thing back in the day. But yeah, Gunko's like the very same. And she shoots one of her arrows towards Usopp. And at that point, that's when Nami summons Zeus, because she's like, "You're not going to take these fucking kids." And she uses her move, Thunder Shark Tempo, launching Zeus, who's shapeshifted into a weird shark thundercloud, at Gunko. But Gunko redirects it with her arrow powers. And and it seems to hit Nami, but it actually hits Brook. So that's good. Brook uses himself as a little human shield to protect Nami. So Gunko goes on to explain that a small number of humans realized it and warned the world of danger. And it's at that moment... actually, Gunko had narrated before this. My bad. I missed this part where she's like, "One day the world as we know it will cease to exist, or so we thought." They mentioned that a small number of humans realized it and warned the world of danger. But that's at that point Usopp hits her with one of his bullets, explodes her upper half completely off.
He violated. Yeah. I didn't know he had that kind of firepower, actually.
Yeah, he went in.
Damn.
He blew her up. Everybody's like, "Damn, Usopp, you went too crazy there." And Usopp expresses immediate regret for exploding her upper half of her body, but Gunko seems to have some regenerative abilities with her arrow fruit. So that's kind of crazy. And
it was flaming. It was going like in on her the whole time she was regenerating, saying how disgusting it looks.
Yeah, he's like, you're really creepy. It's like seeing someone come back to life. And Gunko explains that now it's unstoppable. No one can stop it. And that the countdown has begun. A vast war will ensue and drag the entire world into it. And which side the giants pledge their allegiance to will have a profound effect on the outcome of the war. And we see snippets of Dorian Bragi and the giant pirates fighting, the imaginary creatures. We also see Luffy and Loki still in the underworld being fat, eating a whole ton. Hajuden is also there. But yeah. Nami is just like that. The war that would never happen. And Jinbei explains that like you're trying to seize control of Elbaf in preparation by taking children hostages. What a cheap cowardice! What cheap cowardice! And Gunko's like, whatever, man. I perform my duty as commanded, but it could all be for nothing. The lives of a few children might as well be like trash to me. Crazy. It's at that point, Colin gets snatched up by Gunko. Jinbei and Brook do a combo move together to try and stop it, but she redirects both of them to make them attack each other. Nami gets whacked in the face by a kick, and Usopp is also kneed in the face, pretty crazily. I think Usopp falls off the ship, actually. All of them fall off the ship in different ways. So that's not great. We then get some snippets from other parts of the island. Killingham is infiltrating the school. He's already defeated the principal Walrus, and the other teacher, I forget her name, can't move because her body has been slumberized. So I guess Killingham also has the ability to immobilize people by putting people's bodies and entire bodies to sleep without putting the person to sleep.
He's a beast.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking monster. This guy is awakened devil fruit style too. You see the clouds? I don't know if we made note of that, but I guess you'd have to be awakened to be a holy knight.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, so Killingham is trying to use the transponder bug, and he doesn't seem to know how to use it because it's a different thing than the transponder snails. But Summers tells him to give him a second, and that he's almost done. We see that Summers has been fighting against Saul this whole time. Saul, who is already badly injured and is hiding both Robin and Chopper in the back of his head. And Summers keeps beating on Saul, but whispering to Robin and Chopper to just stay hidden because they got to help him rescue the children. And Saul falls over face first into the thorns. Then Summers continues to mock him, being like, schools, libraries, what kind of peace-loving nonsense is this? You people are warriors. And he's like, you're going to use the violent, vicious power that once terrified the world in service of us as mercenaries. Isn't that right, King Harold? And then the chapter ends with Summer saying that, and then stupid Harold had to go and screw it all up. And that's where the chapter ends. Wowee, lots of stuff going on in One Piece these days. But Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1146?
What did I think? I was really upset.
Yeah.
This is another thing that didn't help my weekend. Because I talked a lot of shit about how Gunko was a pack. How they had all these straw hat pirates up there, and they was gonna show her what time it was, and wow, she thrashed them all. What can I say? I was really disappointed. I was hyped for Usopp, but then she just started to regenerate. And it's like, come on. She could redirect attacks, and then when you hit her, she can come back. I have a suspicion that her regeneration doesn't have anything to do with her devil fruit power.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Remember, they can make inanimate objects eat devil fruits.
This is true.
It's food for thought.
Yeah. Oh, you're saying she's
I
a
don't have that
robot?
much more to say, to be honest, though. Maybe a clone, a cyborg like Frankie.
Ferengi.
Another one. Another cyborg. She didn't connect with Brooke at all.
No, she did not.
Brooke, every fight or every encounter, you should yell out, "I am a musician I'm a famous musician." And when they say, "Oh yeah, like what song have you made?" and he says the songs, they'll be like, "Oh shit,"
Oh shit.
That would have stopped this whole situation. But I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that that I'm even saying that could have been an option, because the Straw Hat should have whooped her ass. The Giants used to be used by the world government. That's news to me.
No, they were about to be used by the world government. But then King Harold did something that changed their mind.
I think he died.
Something like that.
Brian,
Yo.
what are your thoughts?
Oh,
You're right.
hold up. My mic. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I gotta do this. This chapter was interesting because now this kind of implies that all the God Knights have the same regen factor that the Elder Stars have. I forget their name. What's their
The Five Elders.
Yeah, but what's their like Japanese?
Oh, the
title or whatever?
Gorosei.
Yeah, the Gorosei. Because her regen factor.
That was crazy.
The Gorosei have the same kind of healing factor, and I wonder. Now I'm kind of wondering whether fucking god.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering whether the Gorosei's healing factor even comes from a devil fruit at all. Like Josh brought up. It might be something that like Emu herself. Oh my goodness. It might be something that Emu herself. Okay, I gotta fix my mic.
Sorry,
Chris,
guys.
you go.
Okay. While you fix your mic, I will. I guess I'll say my thoughts. I really like this chapter. It wasn't my favorite of the week, but it was probably my second favorite. It was a close margin. I mean, there's been another series that's been killing it lately, so it's tough competition for One Piece lately. But I did enjoy this chapter quite a bit. It was a close margin, I would say, for RGC in really good chapter of the week in my book. I do like that. I feel like there's a lot of consternation with the Straw Hats not being able to beat Gunko. A lot of people, it coincides with the One Piece anime coming back and the episode coming back where Luffy's telling Kizaru that they're all 1,000 times stronger than they were 2 years ago. And here they are getting one-shotted by Holy Knights. But the Holy Knights are like a different level, you know. I feel like the hierarchy of abilities is established. I would figure that the Holy Knights are stronger than admirals of the Navy.
I think that would go without a doubt.
Yeah, so I give them a little grace there in that regard. People are very disappointed with Usopp in particular, and I'm like, man, I don't know. He's not meant to get. He's not ever going to get stronger or at the level of Sanji, even. So I think people got to give up that hope. It's not going to happen for him. He's a different kind of strength. He's a sniper, first and foremost. Theoretically, that hit that Gunko took, like would have killed her, except she wasn't using some
Yeah.
bullshit. She blew off half of a person's body. I don't know how much more you want from Usopp. He is what he is. The Grand Line, and by extension the New World, doesn't get less scary as it goes. You know, it's not something you get used to. Things get stronger. That you face more and more fearsome opponents. You know, the braver Usopp gets, the more scary shit comes in to equal that out. So I don't know. I feel like people have unreasonable expectations with Usopp. It's not the character arc that you think it is. But yeah, I enjoyed this chapter. I'm glad to see one of my favorite little panels was Loki and Luffy just being little piggies down there. I'm like, oh well, Loki's a good guy.
You know what's funny? I did not notice that. I knew that was Loki. I didn't notice Luffy on the side. And I
Yeah,
didn't even notice that Loki was like fat from eating or nothing like that. I just thought maybe like he was like wrapped in a whole bunch of bandages. But no, he was fat because he ate a lot.
yeah,
That was hilarious.
yeah.
Oh, also, I want to rebut
Oh,
something. I
yeah.
don't know if you're there yet, but I think it's also fair to say it's not like she completely defeated any of these Straw Hats. She knocked them off the boat.
Yeah,
You know, did they fail their mission of keeping Khan safe? Yes, but they weren't prepared for her at all. I mean, she could regenerate and she could redirect attacks. That's a really crazy thing that had to deal with on the spot, no matter who you are.
yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all my thoughts. I thought this was a good chapter. Obviously, I love seeing my Frankie, the goat Frankie, doing stuff. Just mid to low diffing things on the New World. But yeah, those are all my thoughts right now about One Piece. Brian, are you good with your mic?
Yeah, Mike has been fixed.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, like you guys pretty much spoke about everything I kind of want to talk about. Aside from that, this is the first name drop of Eneru in forever. I think this is the first time he's been mentioned since Skypiea, right? Like, am I
Yeah, I
tripping?
mean, I couldn't give a exact memory, but I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of reasons for them to talk about him a lot. So
Listen, all I'm saying is there's a reason why he name dropped his ass. He's got to be coming back soon.
yeah,
Is desperate the word? Because the reality is that Eneru is going to come back. We know. He is. He's going to come back. There's no way Oda would just let that rock. He's too silly. He's too impetuous. Spirit is...
That's your word of the day.
You know?
yeah. You said it, Petrus.
Yes, it is. That's why I used it to be funny. But so that's why I say the grasp at straws just because Enru was name dropped. It's very classless and
Classless.
classless and unbecoming. You know, just
Oh,
a very very
classless
nasty
and
thing to do.
unbecoming.
It's very, very desperate, like very crackheadish.
Wow.
Don't worry, he's on the way.
Wow.
He'll be here. You don't gotta do it. You don't gotta fiend.
Josh is gonna have such an attitude when Eneru comes back.
I don't think Brian is that fiend, by the way.
Who?
But I think these people exist because I've seen them in Instagram comment sections.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot alluding. I know it's been said in a million fucking arcs, right? But in this arc in particular, there is a lot of flags for Eneru to make an appearance. Like the fact that the Atom Tree is weak to lightning and fire, The fact that they name dropped Enaru. I don't know. I just feel like it would be a good time for him to show up.
He's not going to show up in Elbaf, Brian.
You don't know that.
I would be surprised if he shows up in Elbaf.
I wouldn't. I feel like of all the times that he could have shown up, this would be it. In the land of gods and shit. Come on now.
They don't call it the land of gods.
Bro, they landed on here and there was a cat god. What are we talking about?
What do you mean? No.
Yeah, like
There's
when we
gods
got
everywhere.
here, like there has been more talk about gods on this arc than in many arcs. Sun god. Josh, you're muted.
Brian, could you turn your mic
Oh yeah,
down slightly?
there was music playing outside too.
Okay.
On a scale of 1 to wrong burgundy, how dead ass are you about Enaru coming in this arc?
You know what? I'll do a wrong burgundy on this shit.
That's crazy,
Just
Brian.
wait.
I'll do a wrong burgundy on this
Just
shit.
think
That's
about it a little
crazy,
bit
Brian.
more. Just
I'll
think
do
about
a
it,
fucking
alright?
wrong
no,
burgundy
Brian.
on this shit.
Why don't you give it
No. I'm not bitch made. I'm not bitch made.
That's not bitch made. That's called being strategic. Don't be emotional like me.
Listen,
when I watch
you're the one who
Nick
brought up the
games.
wrong burgundy. Now I gotta
I said
stand on
on a
business.
scale of 1 to wrong burgundy. You had a lot of options, as a matter of fact.
Josh, to be
I
fair,
gotta
that
stand
was
on
wrong
business,
burgundy
Josh.
fighting words. Those are wrong burgundy words.
Okay.
I gotta
You know
stand
what?
on
because
business.
we both took an L, Brian, I thought you'd understand. You know what I mean? I thought you would just feel like, yeah, I know I thought you'd find common ground on this, but
Wrong burgundy.
Listen,
if
but if I'm right though, what happens?
you gotta put
I'm
your
the
nuts
goat.
on the line, then we're wrong burgundy. That's
Who's we?
because
This is between you guys. I'm not engaging in
you
this.
want to know what's soft, Brian? This guy.
No, I'm already
Yeah,
in.
that's true.
No.
That's true.
I'm
For
in
those
this.
not
soft.
watching on YouTube,
No,
I'm
no.
pointing to Christians, the unbiased king.
Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm already embroiled in one wrong burgundy. I'm already embroiled in one wrong burgundy bet. I don't need to be embroiled in another.
Me too. You had no problem.
I'm sorry.
Part
Part of the reason I am
double dip
2-0.
my fucking nuggets in 2 different sauces. You was gonna tell me to stop.
That's
a
your
nice-
choice, personal
great
choice.
friend.
As a personal choice. Look, the reason I'm 2-0 in wrong burgundy bets is because I choose my bets wisely. I don't just pop off at every wrong burgundy opportunity that I see. All right. If you guys want to get into a wrong burgundy match,
I'm gonna take your strategy.
no, I mean,
I'm going
don't
I agree with
don't
it.
chicken
No,
out.
I agree. I
Don't
think
chicken
that is
out.
the smart move. And I don't feel that strongly about Enaru. That's why I asked Brian how strongly he felt. I don't feel that strongly to put my nuts on the line. I'm gonna tell you
You
that.
were the one who invoked
That's
it.
fair.
You invoked it. You said domain
I invoked
expansion.
because I said the words.
You put it all on the line,
Fucking nuts
Josh.
on the line. Enaru's not gonna come in. It's not pulling up in this arc. Chris already feels that way, but you know, like the tissue paper that's $7.99 for a pack of 6. Extra soft.
Oh my
Like
god.
Charmin. Soft like Charmin.
Yes, that's exactly the one I'm talking about.
My god.
And it has the nice easy tear. It's just a soft, easy.
You're not gonna goad me into another wrong burgundy. And you know what? I feel like I am
No,
right about it. I don't think
I would
don't think
never
Enaru will show
imagine
up.
trying to. You can't push something so mushy. You know what I'm saying? Like you ever try to push a Jello?
Oh, you know what? I'm
saying? Or, like,
participating in the wrong burgundy. All right, you got me.
Yes.
All
But
right,
what
you
side
got
are you
me.
on?
Huh?
What side are you on?
I'm on your side.
What
Josh.
side are you on?
I'm on team.
Yeah, that
Enaru.
nigga's not coming.
All right,
You already
1v2.
know. You already know what time
1v2.
it is, Brian. That
It's
nigga's not
1v2.
pulling up in this arc.
He's not pulling up in this arc, Brian. I'm sorry.
I'm
All right,
finally
I'll
my
take the
first
1v2.
W for sure.
I'll take the 1v2. I don't care.
I'll take the 4
When
and
my
0.
boy Enru pulls up, it's gonna
Your
be
God
crickets.
is not
in here.
real, Brian.
All right, we're
It's
in
gonna be crickets in here.
all right. Currently, Josh and I are
He's
embroiled.
a false prophet.
Josh and I are embroiled in 2 separate wrong Burgundy bets. If I win both, I'm emerging 4 and 0.
Yo, wait. What happens? What happens when what happens if the reveal happens at the same
It
time?
has to be in this arc.
Yeah, but what if it
Oh.
happens at the same time? Both wrong Burgundy bets are resolved in the same week.
Well, depending on how it goes, I think we'd have to be wrong Burgundy for 2 weeks.
Well, one of us.
Yeah, one of us or both. I think it's possible.
There's a potential for every.
I think so.
No, either way,
Right?
one person's not going to be wrong.
Yeah, either way, one person will have to be wrong Burgundy for 2 weeks. One out of the 3 of us will have to be wrong Burgundy for 2 weeks,
Yeah.
no matter what happens.
That's wild.
No, Brian only has to sacrifice one.
Except for Brian. Brian is the only one with the who only has to suffer the wrong Burgundy thing once for 1 week.
Words have power. That is the moral of this situation that I will take to heart.
my
Peer
God.
pressure works is the moral of this episode.
You solid as a rock, though, bro.
Yeah,
That's titanium.
yeah. I'm gonna. You guys are gonna.
Titanium Chris.
You guys are gonna hold Owen. What? What's your guys' record? You're both 0-2 at the moment, right?
I can't remember the last wrong Burgundy bet. I did.
0-1. Brian's 0-2. Ooh, Brian 0-3.
Yeah, Brian is
Listen.
0-2.
Can't believe you did this.
Listen, because I'm not afraid.
We gotta
I'm willing to
create
put
standings.
willing to put my name on the line every time.
We gotta create standings. We gotta create a whole system about this. There's
A
gotta be-
fantasy league for
Yeah,
wrong
we
Burgundy.
gotta have wrong Burgundy playoffs.
Put your parlays on me, guys. Come on, the odds are so good for your money.
We're
If
sponsored
you
by
bet on me.
Underdog, and you guys could get a $50 credit if you bet on. If you bet
you
on the
bet
wrong
on
Burgundy,
Brian.
if you bet on the wrong Burgundy league,
My D&D character's backstory is going to be that I got 10 wrong Burgundies in a row and slowly got driven into madness.
that's entirely possible. I mean, you're on the road.
On the road again.
Yeah, we'll see, Chris.
You could rack up 2 L's right now.
But you take an L with me. At
What do you mean?
least.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you lose one, I lose one.
I'm not. You know what? I needed this pick me up because I'm not feeling great about the other one. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll
when
get there when we
to
get there.
that.
Bro, I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yo, between that and the Knicks and Syracuse losing, yo, how was that?
It has not been a good
Yo,
week for Josh Cole.
I did not want to do this episode. I did not want to do this episode. Oh my god.
Okay,
Pepper
so wait.
Anyway,
I feel like
anyway,
I need to
anyway.
give some context real fast because this might be somebody's first episode and they probably don't know what we're talking about. Okay, so a couple episodes ago, we designed this game that we play that if we each have competing theories, we would bet on who's wrong and who's right. The winner of that would the loser of this bet would have to be referred to as wrong Burgundy for an entire episode. They would also have corresponding drops from Ron Burgundy, Anchorman movie, constantly blaring in their ear whenever they talk, so they know that they were wrong. And yeah, that's basically the vibe. So if this is your first episode, this is the stupid game we've created for ourselves. And now Josh and I are embroiled in 2. This first one, with One Piece and whether Enru is going to emerge at Elbaf. He has until the end of the arc to show up and do something. He has to be a named showed up character, full screen, in order for us to lose. The second one is Kagurabachi related, and we'll get to that. Check out the Kagurabachi coverage for that one. Anyway, that's all I gotta say about One Piece. Brian, is that all your thoughts?
He has to pull up to Elbaf. That's what was said.
Yes, it has to happen during Elbaf, at Elbaf. It can't be post Elbaf where he's just like flying around places. He has to pull up to Elbaf.
Even if it's during the Elbaf arc and he's like they show him doing something like somewhere else, that does not count.
That does not
count. That
count,
will be
Brian.
very hype. That will be very hype.
The bet is
That
that
will
he
be very chill and hype at the same time.
Yes, that would be awesome, but the stipulation is that he has to show up to Elbaf.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is my quality of wrong Burgundy bets are better than you guys' quality of wrong Burgundy bets.
What are you talking about?
It's like so like Michael Jordan, he went out there, he was 6-0, played against scrubs, all right? And then you got me, LeBron James, going to the finals, playing against the hardest teams.
What type of narrative is this? They both played against really tough competition. What
Listen
the
to
fuck
me.
is you talking about?
I want
said
I
what I
understand
said.
what you're trying to say.
I
Brian.
want
You're trying
to
to say that
refer to our
because
first wrong
your
Burgundy.
theories is way more wild.
I want to refer to our first wrong Burgundy bet, which was also a One Piece bet, where both of you swore up, down, and all around that Kizaru was going to be a Straw Hat pirate.
No, that was not the.
That was the bet. That was the bet.
You guys
That was the
thought
bet.
that he was going to join the Straw Hat Pirates.
Wait.
We didn't make a bet on that.
Wait.
make
What
a bet on
if
that.
he
I
does
remember.
end up joining later on though?
Nope.
What happens, Chris?
Nothing.
What do you mean? We didn't
make
set
a bet
up.
on that. We never betted on it.
What was the bet? That
But
was
we
the
flirted
wrong.
with the idea.
No, that was the very first wrong Burgundy loss. They both of you took. There were two wrong Burgundies of the show.
Wait, how did we resolve that
We
though?
were wrong about something else. We were both. I think. No, Brian and I. Our first L was Kagurabachi. We both thought that Samura was gonna die.
Nope.
That wasn't
Yo,
just me.
that was Josh. No, that was Josh.
That was you. That was your second L. That's what pushed you to 0-2.
I feel like I was definitely playing around with the keys.
No, you were
I wasn't
not.
badass about
You
that.
guys were not. It was a multi-episode arc.
It was a bit. Wow. I'll be honest about everything else. I'm just dead ass serious.
I'm not saying
All
you're
right,
just
you
being
know what? It's
dishonest.
okay.
I'm saying you're misremembering.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You've been misremembered. How does it feel to be misremembered?
See,
Josh?
Brian's corroborating the story. Brian knows because he lost in that fashion too.
So Brian and I are both 0-2.
Yes, you're both 0-2. You guys were 0-2 because of A, the Kizaru joined the Straw Hats bet, and B, the Samura was going to die all the way back at the Hot Springs arc bet.
Did I say he was gonna die?
Or was that Josh solo? You may be 0-1,
Guys,
Brian.
in my memory, it's that Brian and I both, like, Brian agreed with me and said, nah, Samura's going to die. I'm going to go back and listen to those episodes.
I'm gonna go back.
But, 'cause I
You're lucky I'm
remember
lazy,
exactly
because then I would edit that part in right here. I'm not gonna do all
You
that.
just have to go to the first Wrong Burgundy episode. Yeah, please edit it in.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Brian and I's first L was... the Kizaru thing was not a real wrong Burgundy bet. We didn't do all of that extra shit.
I feel like it was though.
Nope, it was for Samura.
Mm-mm.
And then you made a bet with Chris on something else. I think it was One Piece related. There was something else you took at Ellen, Brian. And that's just not a memory.
No, I do
either,
believe
y'all.
that Brian is 0-1 and you're 0-2. Because
I'm 0-1.
You may be, right?
That's a crazy plot twist.
No,
I've
I do vaguely remember you being 0-1. Oh, you losing another one individually. Maybe between you and Josh.
The Kizaru one was never okay. I just had to search it.
Are you gonna look it up right now?
Yes.
Anyway, we should
We
move
can
on.
carry on. Yeah.
All right, guys. That was One Piece.